Hey everybody, and welcome to Propel's Virtual Garage. Today we have another episode. We're going to teach you how to make the adjustments on an X4s. Very simple. It's an easy video. It's going to be a quick one. There are two main adjustments. We will adjust the coilover shock and the turning spring underneath. Get a little closer and we'll get right into it. Okay, our first adjustment is the coilover shock. Very simple. You turn this ring at the top by hand. Turning it this way compresses the spring, makes it tighter. Turning it to this way to the left makes it looser. Expands your spring, gives you more travel. I like them relatively soft. As you can see, these here are set a little harder because I was riding this on the road last. When I go into the woods, I loosen them right up. Probably about 7 or 8 threads down, right around there. Again, I only weigh 135 pounds, so that's kind of for me. But that's the coilover. Very easy to adjust. And that's it. Just spin your ring, makes it tighter, makes it softer or stiffer. Now let's look at the turning adjustments. Okay, this is your turning spring, okay, and you'll notice at the bottom it has a 10 millimeter. Take a 10 millimeter wrench and you simply turn this nut. Okay, you turn it that way to make it tighter, you stiffen it up, you turn it this way to make it looser. Okay. So, the next adjustment I want to go over with you would be the multi-link steering positioning offered by the X4s, something that no other brand offers. I took the wheel off to make it a little easier so you could see it a little better, but basically what the multi-link steering does is it allows you two different steering positions. You simply remove the 4 millimeter from the bottom and switch it to the front hole if that's what you prefer, or switch it to the back hole. The back hole is how it comes stock. When you switch it to the front, it becomes, let's see, how do I describe it? It's more of a shorter, quicker turns. It's more responsive and it's shorter and quicker instead of a longer, sweepier turn. If you're coming from a traditional skateboard or double kingpin or something that you like to be really squirrely with it, you might want to try that just so it feels a little more like what you're used to, but it in no way will resemble a double kingpin. But just to get a little closer to what you're used to. But once you get to know the board, I highly recommend moving it back because that's the position that you'll really get to learn how this board wants to flow. That's my personal opinion, of course. It may be totally different for somebody bigger, but that's been my take when I ride between the two different settings. Personally now, I just ride on the back now, but I rode a bunch of times on the front just to check it out and different types of riding. I wanted to see if it made a difference there, whether it was off-road or on the road. But yeah, so always, once you play with your multi-link steering, that brings us to alignment. Okay, so this is the steering arm, otherwise known as the alignment shaft. The way this works is you take your 10 millimeter and you loosen up these two nuts. There's a nut at each end with a shaft in the middle. Everything's threaded. So you loosen these two nuts and then you would turn this shaft to adjust how you want the wheel to toe in or toe out. Here, let me get you a better camera angle. Okay, here we are looking at the wheel straight on. It's towed out right now. By spinning that alignment arm, can you see that wheel moving? Bringing it back to center. Okay, what a lot of people like to do is they'll lay a yardstick or some kind of a straight stick across both wheels and get a good look at it like that. Some people will actually measure it. I just do them by eye. You can usually see, because it usually favors one side or the other, so usually when you're either tightening or loosening an arm, it's the same one. But yeah, real easy. Just get them going straight, and that's how you align the X4s. So, now that we've aligned your X4s, the last thing we have to do is just lock that alignment in place. We'll do that by re-securing these two 10 millimeter nuts at the end of each shaft and locking them into the ends of the shaft. This prevents the shaft from going forward or backwards after. And now that concludes the alignment of X4s. Yeah, so I warned you this would be a quick one, but let's just talk about these adjustments real quick before we sign off here. Again, this is for your horizontal energy, bumps, rocks, speed bumps in roads, things like that. And this is to make the board tighter or looser as far as your turning ability. Okay? Now, everybody has a personal preference. All the adjustments on any skateboard are always done by personal preference. I can tell you what I like. The guy next to me can tell you what he likes. The guy that weighs 220 pounds can tell you what he likes, and what he likes may be totally different from what another 220-pound guy likes. So it's all personal preference. My advice is just to get in there, get your wrench, adjust, ride, go to extremes so you can see the difference and find out where you might want to be in the middle. But again, adjust and ride until you have it tuned in right to where you want it for you. One small tip I like to put out there also is, if you're looking to avoid the wobbles but you want to keep your board as turny as you can, you want to adjust the rears first, okay? Start with the rear. If wobble is all you're looking to eliminate, you like the way the board turns, start with the rear, tighten them a little bit, take it up to some speed, see if your wobble is still there. But tightening the rear will usually get rid of your wobble. So that's how you make the adjustments on the X4s to tune it for your own personal ability. If you have any questions, fire away below. Again, this stuff is pretty much self-explanatory, and it is a personal thing, so you're just dialing it in for what you like. So have at it, have fun. If you have any questions, fire away below. And if not, we'll see you at the next video. Until then, ride hard, ride safe, ride Propel.